We're on and we're ready. So,
Remember that.
welcome everyone.
Welcome.
Liz was planning on attending, but she's been called to do something, so we're going to proceed without her. I think we can manage. So,
I think so.
yeah. The only thing is the code of conduct, which is hers, but we can read it, and if we have any suggestions, we certainly can make them, and she can catch up with that. So, I'm not too concerned. So, we have a full board here, and therefore we have a quorum, and there's no question about that. So, good to see everybody. I hope everybody had a good holiday, and I hope all of our viewers did as well. We have Patty that I'm a little concerned about, though, because I know she was planning on coming, and so I'm not too sure what the story is with her. So, I'm sorry when I say we had a full board. We don't. But speaking of Patty, I have a note from her I would like to read. But first, I must remind you that this is an open meeting.
Yes.
And we have to follow the rules of the law, so. All right. This just was handed to me. I just got it, but it was sent to the office. And it says, COA and Liz. A note of thanks and appreciation for the lovely vase of flowers I received during my recent unexpected confinement. They certainly brightened my days recouping at home. The flowers were colorful, uplifting, and brought a lovely scent into my home. Being on the COA board with all of you and assisting and supporting Liz is a real pleasure for me. Thank you all again, and keep up the good work with or without me. Patty Hunt.
Very nice.
So, very nice. And just a side note, I know she's not here, but it is her birthday this 16th, which would be Thursday, I think.
She may very well be listening right now.
Maybe. But I told her I was going to announce it. So, anyway, so that was not going to be a surprise to her that I just found out about it a week or so ago myself, and I said, well, I'm going to tell everybody. So, it is the 16th, which is 3 days from now. Okay, other announcements. I've kind of jumped in right away with a couple, but any announcements from board members? Pin card? No? Okay. I have a couple of others. One is that there is a joint meeting with the Selectmen and FinCom tomorrow night at 6 p.m. in room 103, and they are beginning the budget process, is my understanding. So if people are interested, and I'm sure everyone is concerned about money, that's always a big issue, so it might be good to attend. Or at least watch it. It'll be on LCTV. So,
Down at 103.
right, it's in room 103, 6 p.m. tomorrow night.
60.
That's one. I have this little board protocol reminder down because I was approached by LCTV, and they were informing me on how, and from other people too, a couple of viewers, who said, you don't understand how conversations that are going on, a side conversation, it interferes with a person's ability to hear over the mic, and also rustling of papers. If you're near a mic, that does cause a problem, and it's very hard for people, so please be gentle if you're moving your papers around. But I thought it's worth a reminder, and it really is a protocol to try to keep ourselves, and I'm guilty of it too. Bob just flipped his over, so you see. It's, hard not to do it, but try to be quiet about it. I think that was pretty much it as far as announcements go for myself even. Sure, nobody triggered a thought? Last chance? None? Okay, good. Then, we added to our agenda, did you notice, David?
Yes, I did.
Under number 3 on the agenda is public input. David, at our last meeting, suggested that we do that, and we thought it was a great idea. We should. Most boards do have that on their agenda. So I'm asking the public if you have any input other than, I know the Friends will be up here in a minute giving us some input. And Amy, and so I don't see anyone else. Sue's here taking minutes, but.
Could they, excuse me, could they also, if they didn't want to come in and talk to us, could they send us a note about a problem they were thinking about? Send it to the Council of Aging.
A viewer?
Well, they can always do that.
They can always do that, and they can always call the office.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
I'm
ask
just
us-
saying, just to remind them that they could do
People,
that.
yes, and, I didn't bring my copy of the broadcaster with me, but you'll notice in January's broadcaster, there's the input, it's on the front page. You want to read that the bottom from the COA, the
From
message?
COA board, do you wonder about what is happening with regard to the senior center? Stay up to date by watching the monthly COA board meeting on LCTV. A monthly update is provided at each meeting.
Thank you. And that is true, and we will be addressing that. It's under old business, always on our agenda, the working group for a senior center, and we will provide update at that point. So, just to get the word out, because I know people, I've heard that, people are wondering what's going on. So, and, rather than, space is limited in the broadcaster, but at least if people know, they can watch, or they can call the office and ask, what's the latest that's going on with the senior center? And the information, if someone can't give it to them then, their name, and phone number will be taken, and somebody can call them back, Liz can call them back, or I can call them back. So, okay, thank you for doing that. With that, we move right along to the Friends. Come and visit us, Barbara. Get near a microphone, pardon me? Minutes? Oh, did I skip that? I'm sorry. You're right. I have two agendas in front of me here. So if you don't mind.
Very fast today.
Well, if you don't mind, we have to accept the minutes before you speak, but you can stay right there.
Thank you.
So, I'm sorry, I apologize. You have a copy of the December 9th
Yep.
meeting, and you received it, so you were able to review it, I think, ahead of time, hopefully. So, are there any corrections or omissions, or
Correction,
a correction?
under old business B, where it said the lottery, I realize that lottery's already been held, but it shouldn't be for 2 3-bedroom units, it should be for 3 2-bedroom units
The Cooper Farm?
for Cooper Farm. And then for Cricket Lane, it should be 2 2-bedroom units. I don't think Cricket Lane are 3-bedroom units. I think they were both 2-bedroom units.
We don't know, though.
I'm 99% sure. 99 and 9/10. Or just say 2 units.
I believe I think there were only 2, I'm almost 100%, there's only 2 units.
There's only 2 units, yes.
2 3-bedroom units, it says for the Cricket Lane.
Right, but they're not.
They're not 3 bedrooms?
There are no 3 bedrooms in there, so.
That's where the mistake is, then they're a 2-bedroom, downstairs and an upstairs, I believe.
Same floor.
Cricket Lane's all on one floor.
Lane's all one floor.
Okay,
They
and
have
it's
a basement.
Cooper that's not all on one floor.
Correct.
They do have a basement they can finish.
Okay. So what are the corrections you wish to make?
Cooper Farm, the Cooper Farm for 3 2-bedroom units.
Okay,
And Cricket Lane, 2 2-bedroom units.
2 2-bedroom units. Thank you for catching that. Any other corrections?
The minutes be accepted as amended.
Yeah, hold it. That sentence it's got lottery in there twice. It's a little funny. Cricket Lane Lottery will also have a 2-bedroom unit lottery. Cricket Lane Lottery?
No.
Cricket Lane.
Cricket Lane will also
They're
have,
having a lottery also,
Yes.
so.
Cricket Lane will also have a two-bedroom unit lottery.
Right.
Is that okay? Is that all right?
Just take the
Yeah.
word lottery out.
After Cricket Lane,
Right.
correct? Okay.
Now, Bob made a motion.
But Bob made a motion to accept the minutes.
Second it.
You'll second the motion that Bob made? Thank you, David. All those in favor of accepting the minutes with the corrections under old business, item B?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, anyone opposed? Any abstentions? None. Unanimous vote, thank you all. Okay, Barbara, now you're on. Sorry about that, I apologize.
That's Okay, like I said, I'm going to be very fast today because all I'm going to talk about is the fact that, well, first of all, I have to say the Friends are so happy with how many people attend the luncheons. It's worth us preparing and doing it because so many people are enjoying it. And, well, they're coming, let's hoping they're enjoying it. But apparently they are. So this Wednesday is the Chinese New Year lunch, and Taka at the Point is doing the food, and they have a very good menu. I think everyone will like it. There's nothing to be afraid of, and there won't be any peanuts or spicy things in it. We've talked to them. Sandra Cassell was able to get them to cater this lunch. Also, what's very nice is the light department and park and rec people, and maybe someone else, I'm not sure, but have offered to help serve, and that really helps us out a lot. So I think that's great of them to do that. Then the next thing, oh, and by the way, red is the color.
I was just gonna say, don't forget to tell them to wear red.
Red is the color, red and gold for Chinese New Year, and that's for good fortune. So if you have something red, wear it.
Do I understand you have over 100 people now?
We do. And I'm really happy about that because I heard that people wouldn't come because it was a Chinese food. But apparently the food was to their liking, and so now we have 100, probably plus, wanting to come. All right, and so February 12th is going to be a Mardi Gras. And we're preparing for that. There will be chili as the food with cornbread and some other surprises, I guess, maybe a salad. Tiny's Restaurant is catering that one.
Really?
They were very happy to do that. And,
Tiny's out in air.
in air, yes. And we did get some blues music for that lunch.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
Great.
I don't know what to tell you to wear to that,
Can you
whatever
get the
you want.
Purple and green.
Purple and green, okay.
Can you get the people at the lunch to keep quiet so we can listen to the music?
Yeah, that's it. That's a big thing. People need to understand that if we have an entertainer and we're paying this person or persons, it would be nice to be
Listen.
polite
Yeah, I
and
was
pay
amazed.
attention to them because they've
Yeah.
come, you know?
At Christmas, it was a shame because they had a chorus and they were wonderful, but people just kept talking all the way through it.
Right.
And actually, that's a little rude.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
People need to realize that they're showing us their talents, and it's important to them and should be important to us.
It must mean that people enjoy socializing, though. I guess
That's
there's
one
something
reason I
to-
think
there's
they
some
come
good-
too. And I'm glad that they socialize. I want them to do that. During the music or the entertaining, they can just wait
Right.
and socialize.
Well, they'll
again
have to come to more other events when they can socialize, too.
Sure.
Is it possible that whoever's playing music can play before and after eating, or is that not possible?
The eating isn't the problem. If there's no eating, they're all talking. And that's what the problem is. You
What
know,
about
they-
having it when they're eating? Because they'll be quiet.
Mm. Yeah, we try to pick different times for it, but that's a thought, I'll mention it.
That
You know,
didn't work.
because-
We were eating and they were singing and people were talking anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
They
much
want to
so-
talk, and that's fine, but not during the entertainment. That would be something, just try to wait.
Maybe we can put you could put a sign or something as they come in, please quiet
Respect.
during entertainment time. You know,
Be
just something
respectful
to-
of your
little bit
entertainment.
Yeah.
Remind them,
Okay,
you know, I
Yeah.
don't know.
we'll mention it too.
At the check-in table, maybe.
Or even a little, you know what, a little, even an index card at each table, on each table with just reminding people would be, because it's right there then.
That's right.
Yeah.
That might not be bad.
And especially a lot of us in hard of hearing, we talk a little louder, so.
Well, then, some people that are hard of hearing, though, you're right, but then it's harder, the ones that want to hear can't even hear when, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
true.
not good, all the way around.
Well, this is a good thought, so we're hoping people who are watching, and if they're coming, please respect the entertainment, because
Absolutely.
we go out of our way looking for the right people, too. So we don't want them offended and say, I'm never coming back.
That's right.
That's what worried me. Okay, so that's taken care of. And March 18th is the St. Patrick's Day lunch, and that'll be, I think the tech is doing that. Is that right, Dottie? The tech is going to be doing the food for that, and they do a great job.
And that's green and orange, right?
Gotta have the right color schemes.
Yeah, I mean, gee. Yeah, well, we're working on this one. This one's going to be fun. A lot of people have loaned us things that are Chinese, which I think is fun. So we'll be putting those out for people to look at. They are the property of some of the people loaning them, so they won't be for sale or anything, but they will be displayed. So I think that's it right now. Any questions or anything?
I have a suggestion, I don't know if this would work, but did you ever think of, when you have these luncheons, to bring some of the stuff down from the thrift shop
Yeah,
to, and get people interested, because they probably never go up there.
well, yes, we've thought of that too. And we do bring in a lot of decorations, and so there's certain luncheons that we would do that, because there's a lot of cleanup afterwards.
Yes.
She knows. And then taking them all back, getting people to,
It's a
you
lot
know,
of cleanup.
and you know too, about cleaning up and putting it out and stuff. So, yeah, we do want, speaking of the thrift shop, there are so many things there that are really, really neat, and we would like people to try to come in and see what we have. I know there's things for everybody. And on top of that, just always remember that the money is going to the seniors, and that's why we have thrift shop. We want to make sure that it's always popular so that we can keep it going, because if we don't make sales, what's the use of having it? But we are doing pretty well,
Okay.
but we want to keep it up or make it better. So
It's a major source of fundraising for the
right,
Friends.
this is our fundraiser.
Right.
Otherwise, the Friends would be, we'd all have to walk door to door.
Yeah.
So this saves us a few steps.
But
You know?
they have very nice quality in there, and, it's too bad more people aren't available to see it. Some people don't go up.
Yeah,
It would be
yeah.
very good.
Well, maybe we'll do a little better PR right now.
Well, I'm
Thanks
just
for
thinking,
thinking of it. We'll work on that. We'll get loud.
Barbara, do you have any idea how much you get in from the request for donations each year?
Do you know, Dottie, it's a couple thousand,
For what?
the donations that come in during the year,
Oh,
At
yeah,
least.
At least.
at least,
At least what?
a couple thousand.
Couple of thousand? Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thrift shop usually brings in a good monthly
Oh, yeah.
income.
Yeah, they bring in a good amount
Yeah.
each month, but for the donations coming
I
in
just was
from,
curious as to whether people are responding to the letter requesting
We are surprised
For the Friends of
sometimes, and
Zero.
some things come as a surprise too. So, yeah, but anyone wanting to donate is fine with us. We never turn it away. So, okay, that's what I have this time.
Thank
One thing I'd like to say, I know that the luncheons are sponsored by the COA, and
Friends.
I know they're funded by the Friends, and I would just like to say that, having worked with Barbara in setting up and taking down, that's a lot of work.
It is.
It's an awful lot of work for the people that she has doing it, and she does a great job every month. I mean, there's a lot,
It's an
there's a
outstanding-
lot to it, to take it down, put it up, take it down, and
It is a lot of
It
work,
is.
and a lot of people.
I do the play part. I play
Yeah, she
there.
plays.
I like to do and boss them around.
yes.
But
But the decorations alone,
They're
you know,
fantastic.
always are fantastic. It's
I
just
like
an
doing
amazing
parties, what
event.
can I
that you-
say?
And you know what, the work, when she was talking about the different things, and they do a huge, I've been attending their monthly meetings, and a tremendous amount of work goes into the planning and the research to get the best price and et cetera. It's just an amazing amount of work that they do just to put these luncheons on every month.
But the
And I don't
best
think
part-
people realize it at all.
The best part of the work is going to the dollar store.
Good old dollar store.
Okay,
But, thank you.
thank you.
And thank you, all friends. All right, moving on to old business. Update on the working group for the senior center. So anyone that wants to hear what the latest is, and we have no news, that's the latest. We were going to be meeting in January, last Friday, but there was a conference call. Nina had a conference call with the architects, and they are not ready yet. She thought they were going to be presenting to the selectmen, but they're not going to be presenting now to the selectmen until the end of this month, the end of January. And so therefore, she couldn't see, there was no point in having a meeting last Friday, so that meeting did not happen. We are waiting for them to meet with the selectmen, because until the selectmen get the information, it can't get out to other people, including us, really. So that's the situation at the moment. It's very frustrating for everybody. I know I'm frustrated, and I think I'm speaking for a lot of people.
Seems like it's taken an awful long time to
Yes.
put their results together and come up with
They
something.
just keep putting it off, don't they?
Well, you know, when I think about it, I get frustrated, but then I have to stop and remind myself, it's not like a simple thing like one building. They're looking at two anyway, you know, Shattuck Street, this building, and the DCU building. And then the library, when the library was voted in, that changed the whole picture for Shattuck Street too, knowing that, okay, the library will be vacating this building. So that meant a little bit of a change. I don't know how involved that is for them, but my mind tries to rationalize so I can accept it a little bit more easily by doing that. And that's what I've done, because I don't
And they also
know.
have to make decisions in terms of the finance and the cost of completely removing this building and replacing it, or renovating it and the problems that have been here and so forth and so on. So you get into all kinds of things. I still think, I'm as frustrated as Marge is, and, you know, the group should be able to come through, but they haven't come through with it enough on a dollar basis and a recommendation basis for us to even begin to make they haven't told us yet what's the best possibilities.
And I think that's what's making it so hard for us to answer questions when people say, what's going on with the senior center, what are we doing?
Right.
We need to let them know that our hands are really tied. We have nothing to give, so it's not like we're trying to keep it from people. We don't have anything to give at
No.
this point.
This is the 13th, then we have next week, and Monday's the holiday, and then the 27th, the selectmen will meet, I'm sure, probably. And it seems to me, I heard something about the 27th, it was anticipated, but I'm not saying that's what is the final thing. So, but if you're talking about, as Nina indicated, she was hoping that we would get information by then. So, I'm hopeful that it's only 2 weeks away.
And then it'll have to be going back and forth between different groups to say, yes, we like this, we don't like that, we think this is a possibility. And so I'm concerned with nothing getting to the annual meeting of the town in May.
Right.
That is the biggest concern. I think I agree with you, because it's, already, we have the selectmen and the FinCom starting to get ready for the town meeting in May. So, we need to, yeah.
And they'll
And we
soon-
were going to have something on the warrant in May.
Right, and that deadline will come up soon,
Yes.
when the deadline is to put something on the warrant. Will come up
Well,
soon.
that'll come too, yeah.
Right.
And that's not gonna be that
The
far
fact that there
away.
is nothing to update. Thank you. So, anything else, any questions that I hopefully can try to answer? No, I can't answer anything, but that's where it's at. So,
Oh, you're on the committee, right?
I am, Bob is, and Patty, and Liz.
Well, perhaps
And we
maybe
have
somebody,
been carrying on our shoulders the anxiety of all of you.
Yep.
perhaps somebody can ask tomorrow night for
Oh,
a status report.
could do that.
I think that would be a really good thing. But it should be somebody who's on that committee.
I would try to go to that, 6 PM. 6 PM, Selectmen and FinCom are starting, having a joint meeting tomorrow night, which I announced.
Just for a quick status report.
Okay, I will. Good idea. All right, then, moving on. Maureen, you're on. What's going on with the Affordable Housing Trust Fund?
Well, it is a work in progress. We did have 2 more last month. Yep.
Two more what?
2 more applicants.
For the rental
for-
assistance program.
I'm sorry.
For the rental assistance program.
Oh, okay.
And there was lots of discussion about maybe some things need to have adjustments made so that people qualify. And there was discussion about that. And we will not be meeting tomorrow, so I may not have information for next time.
That's okay. If you don't have it, you don't
Is
have
this
it.
affordable housing, or is this TRED, or?
This is
Affordable
the-
housing.
Yep, the Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board, and we discussed mostly the Littleton Rental Assistance Program. I presented 2 applicants who applied for the $250 a month of rental assistance, or maybe it was 3, 2 or 3, but 2 of them at least needed a conditional approval based on certain circumstances in their lives.
Okay.
So.
I just didn't realize that the Affordable Housing Trust was dealing with that. I thought TRED was dealing with that.
No. No.
What's TRED doing then?
TRED is
Taxes.
just tax relief.
Just,
Tax relief. This is rental assistance relief, essentially. So it's great for residents because if you are going through a really tough time and you might not qualify based on the income guidelines that are posted online, still give us a call, still apply based on your circumstances. We might be able to do a conditional approval. And Town Council was at the last Affordable Housing Trust Fund Board meeting, and Town Council said that the Trust Fund Board has the authority to approve conditional applications.
how is the Affordable Housing Trust Fund funded?
Through the CPC, and also, if a builder is building houses and they're not making affordable housing units, they can donate money in lieu of the units.
Right. And I thought, okay, I just thought that a part of that, or at least most of it, was going to be used for us to then be able to accumulate enough so that we could build affordable housing units from that fund. That's what I'm confused about.
Ideally, we would be able to do that, but we need more money than we have.
Oh, I understand.
it's a process. And
We're
I
also
don't,
giving it out, so we're not,
I don't think we
But we're only
can.
giving out 10% of what we received from the CPC.
okay. So there's a set amount that we can give out. Thank you.
And I don't think there have been any contractors so far that have opted out of not building affordable units.
Not to my knowledge.
Not, right, so they would be the ones that would be contributing to help build a fund. And I've not heard of any, but then again, I'm not totally up on the latest, so.
And
Thank you.
how much a year do we get from CPC?
Varies. It varies. We got just a little over $500,000 when we started. But you don't get a certain sum of money every
Okay.
year.
That has to be voted every year?
It does.
So
Has to be
at the May
voted at town
they'll-
meeting.
Yeah, okay. And we've only had one,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anything else on the affordable housing? Thank you, Maureen. Okay, and this is an ongoing, item C on the agenda, visibility of the COA is an ongoing process we took on back in the fall when we wanted to, be more visible and get the word out and have the table at the football game, and we've been doing other things, had tables at the town fair, et cetera. And so, a couple of things that I would like to just mention. One is that I was approached by a few people, different people, that have made observations about board members at the luncheons, and how board members are always sitting. I'm guilty of this. I'm one of the guilty people, because the seat's safe for me and I just go sit down. So, and I should not be doing that. So we need to make sure that we are positioning ourselves at different tables in order to increase the interaction with the people that are there, basically. So, in the future, I would request that board members, if we're attending the luncheons, which we should if we can, try to make sure that we are sitting at a table, and representing the board at that table and interacting with the folks at that table. People have commented that if you look, and I've noticed this myself, the same people tend to sit together. And, I think Barbara probably is aware of that too. And so, not that we're going to disrupt that, but then they have their little groups. And that's not the best for socialization either. So maybe we can help in, some way by spreading ourselves out. And some people are very good about doing that. I'm guilty. As I said, I'm one of the ones that needs to change my procedure, which I will do. But I'm just saying, if you're there, take a look. If there's a board member at a table, try to get a seat at another table. And so yes,
Yeah, I
Barbara.
think that what happens is, people are coming in, they see their friends, they want to sit with them because I see them once a month or something like that, and that's all well and good. I understand the board part, though. As far as everybody else, they can sit with whomever they choose.
Oh, right.
But
Board members.
I can see what you're saying about board members switching tables, because if somebody has questions, you're the one that can answer them.
Right.
That's right.
If they don't, they're still glad to see you, and you can also mention, in case they don't watch or don't know, that you are on the board.
Actually, I was thinking, if you don't mind, since we're having this discussion, but here and you're here, I was going to ask you this week if it would be okay if, for example, I could get up and just ask. I would like to have the Friends board members, your board members should people should know who you are as well. And so I'm just thinking, maybe we should just say, hey, the board members that are here, from the Friends, stand up. And then COA board members, stand up. So,
It's funny you should mention that, because I thought of that myself for this one, only because I want to make sure too that the people who are working on it on the lunch stand up, because
Right.
they do, work, and you want them to be recognized that this was put together by You know what I mean?
Well,
And
and it-
those who helped, in fact, I'm hoping to get everybody's name from the different departments that help, so that I can at least mention it, that
Right.
they helped.
It's amazing, because the last one, I know, I think all three of the staff, four of the staff,
Yeah, they all
all
work.
four of them,
Yeah.
sitting here, right here, they were up and running around and helping and, and so as a board member, we need to be, helping that process along.
So in other words, if you sit at different tables and we say, would the board, COA board, please stand, at least you'd be around the room.
Right.
But should our names be announced so that the people on TV
Right.
would recognize, like looking at the broadcaster, they see Marge Payne, oh, that's Marge, and, oh, that's Sue, and.
Well, that's
and the
why you
same
have
with
name
you.
tags, too.
Your names
No,
to
but if
be,
they, I see what she's saying, if they're on TV, you can't see the name tags.
Well,
So
no, but
if you
the
stand up-
luncheons aren't televised.
Okay.
oh, no, that's right, they're not.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, but I agree with what you're saying. I think that, maybe we could just ask everybody just to please stand. Friends, board members as well. I think it's both groups, because
groups,
people
yeah.
need to know both groups.
Sure.
So,
What about just making another thing, is just going around to the tables before the meal comes along and just kind of introduce yourself? You don't have to sit with them, but you can introduce yourself. If you have any questions whatsoever, we are the people you
Right.
should ask.
well, I think that's good. We need to be out there and be more visible. It's all part of the being visible and effort. And, yes, Bob.
I wondered whether, if the people who were involved in the table at the fair and at the games and so forth, are we planning any more of these? Are there other things which we're going to be doing? Because they seem to be fairly successful.
We're coming to that.
We're getting
That's-
there.
Yeah, we're getting there. You're going to hear about a big thing we're doing
Yeah.
in
Okay.
very few minutes. I just wanted to get a couple of the smaller things out of the way first. So, one of the other smaller things that I have, other than the visibility of the board members at the lunches, the monthly luncheons, and thank you for that, is that in the minutes, and I didn't want to change, the minutes don't need to be changed, but I indicated in there about the parking for the senior, we were talking about that, and I said I would follow up. And I want to share with you that I did follow up. And I spoke to Diane Crory, because Diane is the one that's in charge of getting the parking for seniors at the town meetings and at election voting days and et cetera. And so I called her. I realized that the police officer that I spoke to, he wasn't even from Littleton, so it wasn't really, worth going to Chief Pinard over, I don't think. I don't think our police officers would ever do that to us. And Diane informed me, and she's right, the town fair is, the fair, the Littleton Fair, is not a town event. And she has no jurisdiction over that. And so, what has to happen is that Millie and Nancy have to be asked to, Diane said, I'm willing to share the parking signs and everything that we have. That's not an issue, Marge. It's just that I can't be the one. It's not my responsibility to be the one to get that done. It's their responsibility
'Cause
to
it's their
ask,
fair.
because it's their fair. They're running it. So we need to make a little mental note when it comes fair time, in December, to ask Millie and whoever,
And Nancy.
and Nancy, if they would ask Diane to, if they could borrow the signs and have them put up or whatever. Diane probably would help get them put up. She's perfectly willing to do that. It's just that she said, I can't. So, and that makes sense. It does make sense. So I was glad I called her and followed up, because now we know.
Now I know.
If it's not an official town event, otherwise, Diane will make sure that it's there for the official town events that need to,
Would these signs say for seniors only?
I forget what they say. They're already put together.
Okay, because I'm thinking that if a senior that's perfectly capable of walking across the parking lot takes that place, when someone who is handicapped or very limited in their mobility can't get a place, I don't know if there's any way to kind of,
Well, let's just get the signs up routinely and then worry about that part of it. Because I think what happened at the fair was that people were coming a person, one driver, and then the handicapped person or the senior were in a vehicle. Well, the policeman was allowing people to pull up and let
The handicap.
people get out. But then the person that might need to be helping them has to go park the car and can't help them. So it didn't do any good. So, excuse me. But I think when the signs are there, I forget the exact wording, but they've been put up for
I
many
think it
things.
says for senior parking. It doesn't mention handicapped.
Excuse me, I just am trying to get away from the microphone. I have a little lozenge. If I get going. So.
Do you want some more?
No, probably, well, I'll try anything. Thank you. Just what happens.
I also feel that the senior parking is not necessarily for those who are handicapped. This is not an attempt to just get handicap
I'm
parking.
not saying handicap.
It is an attempt to get, so seniors don't have to walk from the middle school
Right.
over because of the parking, and
Right.
so many times that's important.
Say the same for here.
Yeah, I haven't heard that it wasn't sufficient when we have had the parking out there. It's well marked and, I'm so sorry. All right. But I just wanted to give you that update on that. That's the situation, so we need to remember, come, perhaps when the Friends reserve the table, maybe we can remember to just ask to have them request the senior parking signs be put out. We had some complaints at the fair. A couple of people were complaining, so. All right. And the other big thing that's happening is visibility of the COA. Back in the fall, Bob, one of the things that we talked about doing was having our own TV show. Our own monthly TV show toward the end of the month, which would be highlighting events that were coming up that might not be regularly scheduled types of events or whatever. And so 2 board members have come forth, and I'm going to appoint them as the co-chairs of this project. And they are Anita and Susan, have offered to be the 2 people working and doing this show with support from all of us. We may be on it, talking about a particular thing. Liz will be part of that and on it. Who knows? All kinds. They can invite guests. And I do know, I'll let Liz and Anita and Susan take it over from here, because I know they've talked to LCTV about it, and I'm not even sure of what's happened since a few days ago. So go for it. It's going to happen this month, I think. Our first show will be this month.
Yes, I think it will be this month. We don't have a date yet unless Liz has a date, but we thought for our first program, we would take something from the broadcaster and try to explain it a little better, so more people are aware of what is involved. And we picked the Social Club with Anne Marie Chudowski, and she has offered to come and sit with Sue and I or whoever and discuss what exactly the Social Club is, what happens at the Social Club, what it's meant to do, and try to enlighten the public a little bit more about that. And we have a couple of craft programs that we're going to talk about as well. And each month we'll do something from the broadcaster to explain our program better. And then if we have anything to do with the senior center, that will be top priority. Whenever we have information about that, we'd make that top priority. If there's anything any of you board members want us to talk about or find out information about, then you should give us a heads up, and you can come and be part of it. We might use you for affordable housing at one of the programs, and you can explain more about how that works, and, try to get more of our programs visible.
And the Memory Cafe, even though
And the
Ann Lee
Memory
runs,
Cafe
yeah.
is a big one as
How
well.
long will each segment be?
We're kind of starting with maybe 30 minutes
Okay.
to see how it goes. If it needs to be more than 30 minutes, it can be, but I think beginning, we should start 30,
Start
because
small.
we don't know what,
Want to keep people with you.
Right.
we don't,
Yeah.
you know, we
30
just don't know
minutes is
what.
fine.
And I even kind of foresee it in the future that we could set up a question and answer period. And after we have discussion, people can call in. But I think that's a little further
Right.
down the line.
Barbara's got a lot of
That's-
experience in shows.
Yes.
But if that's something that we can make bigger, we would like to do that.
We have so many resources in our department that people just don't know about.
Exactly.
And the more we talk about it, the more we get it out there. Maybe we can even do a show on the types of emergency funding that's available to residents if you encounter a crisis, or interview some of our instructors to tell more about the programs that they do in detail, what types of exercises they do, what type of person might be capable of taking this class versus this class.
And I also think we
Information.
need to get the elder services out there,
Yes.
because I don't think that the town is aware that we help a person no matter what their age is.
Mhm.
They can walk through this door, and if we have the ability to help them, we'll help them. And that was something that I didn't understand, and I think that's really, really big. And I think that will help promote a senior elder service center, because more and more people will see what can be done for them.
Mhm.
Or is available.
Yeah, that's available now, that they're missing, because, and I think the program, the rental program, is a real shame at the moment, because I also work for St. Vincent de Paul, and I know of people who are in need of rental assistance, and I don't think they know that
Right.
there's a place they can come and apply. And that's a shame.
That reminds me, there was a woman who actually watched this program last month, watched our meeting, learned about the rental assistance program, and sent me an email via the website, giving me ideas of how to spread the word, telling me to talk to Dr. Clenchey, because he sends out a principal's newsletter to the different schools, and get how I could get the information in there to share with families. So, I mean, people do watch these programs.
I think it's very exciting. You know, and we talked about it in the fall, that was one of the things in addition to the tables. And I think we need to think again, spring will be here soon, sooner than we realized. I mean, we're in the midst of, January, but, and I was thinking about it and I thought, we can do another sporting event, game, something that, soccer's a big sport. Maybe that would be a good thing to have a table at, I don't know. But we need to be thinking, you all need to be thinking about things that we can do to get the COA out there and let people know who we are and what we can do. And
Do we have a date?
Not yet.
so, hopefully it will happen this month, though. It'll be our first one. That's the plan.
I have some homework to do. I have to make a backdrop, a visual backdrop of some sort, and a script. I'm looking at Barbara, hoping she knows what I'm talking
I'm
about.
thinking about your elder sign.
Yeah, that's true.
That would probably be what you'd want.
Mhm.
Or even
Just
the
like the logo.
tablecloth. The tablecloth. you
The
could
big
have.
tablecloth Yeah, that our table. we
She's
have.
got
it's
that big
rounded.
sign in the hall
Yeah.
that I think would be good, that Mark could probably.
Barbara's got a lot of experience with
But it
this. we
says
all know.
everything there.
Right, that's true.
So if they would know, this, when they see this sign, that's who
They're gonna know.
this is
Power
it,
of
these
branding.
people. That's why I think, I wouldn't go to.
Don't go crazy. Okay,
Yeah,
I gotta reel it in.
I think I would use that sign.
Okay. That's easy enough.
And we don't really need a big script, we just need certain questions. What is the social club? What do you do? Why? How come? Who's available? Who's eligible? And then work off of that. And I'm sure Anne Marie will enhance the conversation as we go along.
And Liz shouldn't have to write the script.
No, it
We
should.
should.
Barbara?
No, you shouldn't.
No.
Barbara,
I-
how successful is call-in at the end of the
Not really good,
Oh, really?
no.
No, and it's not repeatable.
We,
It's not repeatable. I mean, you can have a
yeah,
call.
exactly.
But then when you
Because
show the
someone-
program again,
Someone who watched the call-in show said, oh, I tried to call in, but it wasn't, it was like
It's a repeat.
3 days ago,
Oh,
and this
right.
is saying you can call in, so they thought they could. So it's really not,
It's not.
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think that calling the office afterwards, or whoever you want them to call, probably would work a lot better. Yeah, because, yeah, I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 people call in for something like that, and a couple of times it was someone who was in the studio, so that we'd feel like somebody called.
That's what I was gonna say. I've even known public radio stations that have tried to do that, and they've admitted that they've had to fill in the time, because
they
of
didn't
the
have-
Yeah.
lack of calls.
We've also did a Christmas one, we used to do a Christmas call-in, and a couple of times we got calls from, smart Alex, who you go, sorry, hang up, you know what I mean? So I would just, they probably wouldn't do that with council on aging, but,
Well, you never
You
know.
never
You
know.
never know.
I wouldn't say it's first
Okay.
on my list. And I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I can see
And I
Jim
also
calling in.
talked to Liz about my show, because I do Council on Aging, which I gave her a list of what I like to take out of the broadcaster, but it's not things that you would be doing. I don't go to the deep end of the,
Outreach resources.
what social club and stuff like that, because you'd want more of an explanation. What I do though is the crafts and friends things, probably the breakfasts and stuff, which to me aren't as important. I mean, it's important to me, especially if people watch the show. But your things would be the deeper side.
Right. We're just
I
trying to
think-
expand the information that's getting out there a little bit more in depth, so.
Yeah.
So-
I was also thinking maybe if we can get a few ideas for month to month to month and put it in the broadcaster under the topic, we will be having a show on senior whatever, so that they would,
That's good.
if
That's a
they
good
wanted to
idea.
focus on just one thing, they would know to start
As we move
looking for
along,
that.
maybe that's a good idea to
Yeah, I
remember.
think that's a good idea, because that you're right. At least if they were interested, they would
Yeah.
see that that's coming up.
They get
and they'd
advanced.
watch
Yeah.
your program.
So stay tuned, everyone. It's exciting, it really is, yeah, stay tuned, because we're looking at it, toward the end of every month type of thing, so. All right, and
And
thank
then-
you both, Anita and Susan, for stepping up.
Unless Sue and I will write the scripts and do the work and not ask you to get, you've got enough on your plate.
But do you have to okay it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
She has to okay it.
I wouldn't go on TV unless
Yeah, no,
we
no.
wrote what we were gonna do and make sure that we
Got it okay.
got it right. No,
How about this too, Anita?
what's that?
You two could be my next interview on my show, saying look for this show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Could you do that? I mean, you wouldn't really need a script for my interview.
No, we would just,
So, we'll talk about date within a week or so.
Sue's gonna be gone from sometime to sometime.
I can jump on with you if you want.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Liz
Yeah,
could do it,
I don't mind jumping on with you,
wait for
Anita,
that.
Okay,
if you-
Okay, whatever.
all right.
if Sue's not
If
here.
she's
All right,
got a
so
family thing going
I'd like to pick a
on.
date like next week or early the next.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's a great idea, thank you, Barbara,
All right,
very nice.
Yes, I'll do that with you.
good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, stay tuned, as I said. I'm
tuned.
excited about this. It's a big thing, but I think it's going to be helpful. So moving on to new business, we have a couple of rather quick things, I think. Grants. Liz is going to fill us in on that.
Yeah.
And also the code of conduct, which is the second item, and Liz, we can speak to that too.
Sure. Can I have Nicole jump up to talk about your mindful movement grant?
Oh,
Sorry to put you on the spot.
that's okay.
So Nicole wrote her first grant, and it was approved. So, do you want to just tell everyone what you wrote it for?
So I wrote the grant for 6 more 6-week sessions of the mindful movement class that is just finishing up. So it was approved, and so I'm working with the instructor now on coming up with some dates on when to start the next session. So each session will be 6 weeks long. So.
And it was a $1,000 grant
$1,000
from
grant.
Chenal 15.
Yes.
Wow.
And what is that course? I don't know.
It's like a combination of gentle chair yoga and meditation. Yeah. So people have seemed to really like it, so we're going to extend it. And I was looking at the calendar this morning. I think it will go through this whole year, and then we'll have 2 more sessions.
I'm sorry, Nicole, could you project? I'm not
Sorry.
hearing you.
I'm sorry. So the mindful movement class, it's chair yoga and meditation. And so we got approved for $1,000. So I'm going to do 6 sessions, and each session is 6 weeks long. So I was just looking at the calendar this morning, and so we'll have sessions throughout the rest of this year and 2 more at the beginning of next year.
Next year being July 1st.
Next year being
No.
January 1st.
January 1st.
Oh, okay.
Calendar year.
Yeah.
Calendar
You're
year.
talking calendar year,
Mhm.
okay.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now she knows how to do it. Okay,
Okay.
and then you got a grant.
Yeah, and then the second grant applied for at the end of November, right before Thanksgiving, and this was the Emerson Hospital Community Benefit Award. A maximum of $5,000 to fund a program that furthers Emerson's mission/initiative to better elder health in our community. So I wrote a grant for dementia care and caregiver stress reduction, and it was approved for $5,000. And there's multiple components of this grant. Thank you to Ann Lee for jumping in at the last second with me, so I could expand it a little further, because I was thinking, what's our mission here? And one of my goals for the coming year, I wanted to make Littleton a little more dementia-friendly across the entire community, not just what we do here in the building. So I reached out to Ann Lee kind of at the last hour and said, hey, let me loop you in this grant with us. So some of the components that we got approved for were partial funding of our social club instructor fee, new brochures for marketing materials for our dementia-friendly initiatives, a couple different events, I guess we could call them, at the Memory Cafe, 2 for musical entertainment, 1 for like a wellness event. And also, this may seem like a small thing, but financial support for our caregiver support group dinners. And what's better than coming together with people who are going through a similar situation and sharing over a meal? I mean, it sounds small, but it's so hugely important to some people. And there's nothing better.
$5,000?
$5,000 total.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. So there's a timeline for everything, and I'll have to get together with you, Ann Lee, to figure out when we're going to schedule these things.
Okay.
I have some ideas for entertainment and wellness
Okay.
that I'll run by you, but the other good thing that came out of this was Kelsey from Emerson liked the grant so much that she's invited me to participate in Emerson's dementia-friendly initiative. So I'm going, I think it's next week, to Emerson Hospital to see how I can participate and get Littleton more involved in this
Oh,
wider
that's great.
I was
community
gonna say, because they're
initiative.
expanding a lot of these outpatient, or I don't know whether they're outpatient, but just programs.
Yeah.
And I wondered whether that was included too.
Yep. It's one of their priorities for this coming up year, and we'll see what comes of it, but it should be exciting.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's really very exciting.
I want to thank you for including Memory Cafe. That is a big boost for us. So thank
Great.
you.
Well,
It's a great program that needs
it is a
more
great
attention.
program.
Yeah.
And Ann Lee Sticks has not given up on that program either.
No.
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 So this is very exciting.
Yeah.
Some really
It's
exciting stuff
fantastic.
going on.
Yeah. It's amazing how There's so many grants out there, but just finding the time
To do it.
to do
Finding
it.
what they are.
Right.
And, knowing how to do it. I've never written a grant,
Yeah.
for
Right.
example, so for Nicole to do it and be accepted, that's
Yeah.
great, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's-
helps build your confidence, too.
Yes.
hard to do.
Yeah.
And it was right before the holidays too, so it sent me off on a nice note.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Good news right before the end of the year.
Right.
Excellent.
This Emerson one was quite a crunch because Kelsey, I guess, is new at Emerson, and she sent me the package about 6 days before it was due and said, "Sorry, you weren't on the email list, but here's this opportunity."
Oh,
Jump.
wow.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
It was.
Who is Kelsey?
Kelsey works at Emerson as part of their community outreach, and she manages the community benefit awards.
Lots of
Great
good things
stuff.
happening, yep.
Code of conduct.
Okay, moving on to the other item under new business, and that's the code of conduct, which Liz sent out to you to review.
So the code of conduct has just been a little thing that's been on my radar. It's code of conduct / standards of independence. And I noticed that we didn't have one or didn't have an updated one, and most COAs do have one for the center for participants who use their center. So it's kind of been on my radar that we need to get this together. I sent out an email to our regional directors groups of COA directors, and I got about 6 or 7 versions, from Woburn to Foxborough, all over, and kind of based this one off of all of my colleagues' codes of conduct. Now, this is just nice to have in place, especially standards of independence. There have been situations at other senior centers where people use it as a drop-off center for their loved one who might not be capable of being here alone in the building and need one-on-one assistance. Kind of like as if we were a medical model assisted, program. We're not. If you're coming to our programs, you have to be able to toilet yourself and things like that. So it's nice to have that stuff in writing in case an incident comes up in the future. I'd rather have this beforehand before it's too late to work with someone. And then the general conduct, that's your basic no bullying, no violence, no causing auditory disturbances, no interfering with other people's ability to enjoy using the senior center. So I hope everyone had a chance to look over it. If you haven't, maybe we can come back to this, but anyone have any questions about it? Yes.
I looked it over, I read it as carefully as I think I could, okay, and I don't find anything wrong with it,
Okay.
right? And I don't know, can we just accept it? Because I think it looks pretty darn good.
Susan?
I agree, having read it, and having been on the personnel board for all the years that I have, I think it's important that this board have this.
Hey, Becky.
Oh, good.
I guess the question I had was, had there been an issue, or did I just understand you to say you just want this in place in case?
Yes, in case. Maybe this has been on my radar for a while, my prior job, everything had a policy, a procedure, something to fall back on in writing, and we didn't have anything. So it's just kind of, I've had it on my whiteboard in my office to be checked off for a long time. It's just nice to have.
I think it's important to have, I really do.
It
Because
is.
then we have something there that we can fall back on.
Mhm.
And the day will come
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
we're gonna have to
Something
refer
will
to it.
happen.
Yeah. But Susan, did you want to say something?
No, I think it's very important to have it too, and I read it carefully, and I just found a bunch of little teacher in me.
Yes, send those to me. Yep, send me the grammar corrections and everything, and
Just
Small
a few of
things.
just a few small little phrases, not changing the intent of it at all. No.
do you have it on electronic or handwritten?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay, maybe we'll touch base after, and I'll make the corrections.
No, I also read it very carefully, and I didn't come up with anything that I thought really was blatant that needed to be changed. I thought it was very thorough. It really covers quite a bit.
Mhm.
So, and it will come in handy someday.
Someday. You never know.
No, you don't.
It's a way of protecting the staff.
Yep.
Right. When you're working with humans, you never know.
No, you don't.
Like that.
That's right.
So, and it is good
It's
too.
also, it's a way of protecting the people who come here for help as well.
Right.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, I don't hear any, Patty, do you have anything you want, we're on the code of conduct? On the,
No, I did read it.
you're okay with it?
Yeah, I am. I think it's,
I would
something
move that we
we need.
accept the code of conduct for the elder services and human and elder services and the council on aging in its present form,
Well,
with grammatical changes as necessary.
right, with grammatical changes, yes, that,
Second motion.
all right, it's been moved and seconded that the code of conduct report be accepted with some minor grammatical changes that Susan will consult with Liz about.
Patty, was there more to that? I'm sorry, Marge. Was there
No.
more to what you were saying?
Pardon me?
Was there a second part to what you started saying?
I forgot.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No. She was okay, you're okay with it, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so it has been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any negative votes? And I think it was unanimous. Thank you. I think it's great. Great document. So. All right. So, for Patty's benefit, obviously, we're down to the reports, Patty. Director's report?
Sure. Okay. Everyone has a copy of the director's report. We already talked about the 2 grants. The other thing I wanted to mention is that myself and Deputy Patterson from the police department, and his name is escaping me right now. I'm going to say Sergeant. No. Oh, I can't remember his name. I'll email it out afterwards. We went to a training at the Groton Inn put on by the International Association of Police Chiefs, and it was for community members who are kind of on the ground, boots on the ground level, dealing with crisis and crisis interventions related to substance use, domestic violence, things like that. So the conversation was about how do we, as community providers, get in before the crisis, and then once the crisis happens, what procedurally happens. So there were emergency room doctors there. There were people from NAMI, people from different doctors' offices, kind of all across the board. Youth services, DMH. It was a really collective group of people. And we started with, okay, this person's having a mental health crisis, or they overdosed. Here's point 0. What's the next step? All right, call 911. Where do we go from there? Then what happens? And we went so into detail, all the different numbers you could call, all the different people you could contact. And then we worked backwards. Okay, here's 0. How do we prevent the crisis from happening? And that's kind of where we come into play to get in beforehand and see if we can get the services and resources to the people before that's needed. So what Deputy Patterson and I had discussed is, and what we've been discussing for a long time, is how do we connect better as a social service agency to a police department and / fire department to reach those people before the crisis. And it's actually, we've decided we're just going to have open communication. So Deputy Patterson has been contacting me anytime there's anything major going on in the community, and we can source it to our staff and get involved, try to be involved before the major crisis happens. So that was an excellent training, and hopefully we can establish a more formal group in the coming months. Other than that, we have some great new programs coming up.
Should we ask for question?
Sure.
Hal's Veterans Group, what is that?
Hal Arthur is doing a new group.
Oh,
Do you know
okay.
Hal?
Yeah, I know
Arthur?
him.
Yep. Hal Arthur. He used to be a driver for the COA, and he's been a volunteer for a long, long time. He goes to all of our events and breakfasts, and he's going to host a group, a veteran to veteran group, that Nicole helped him arrange.
Nice.
From 1 to 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Are you
That's
going to go,
nice.
Bob?
Hmm?
You're going to attend? Will you attend?
Probably.
Good. Good. Hal's a nice guy.
Hal's my best buddy.
He is a nice guy.
I just, when I saw that, I wondered whether it was him.
Yep.
And what is CBD craze facts?
All right, Nicole, that's you. Maybe we'll have Nicole come up and discuss the events, because she has been mainly organizing these, and she'll mention some other events that are happening too.
CBD is, I'm not going to get the name right because I have it written just as CBD, but it's a lunch and learn with a nurse who works at River Court in Groton. And so they're going to talk, there's CBD oil that you can put on, and there's also CBD oil that you can ingest. There's all kinds of CBD oils, and people are talking about it. If you drive down the street, drive down 119 in Groton, there's a big sign.
That's why I was
CBD.
curious.
Yeah, so this nurse is going to come and kind of tell you what it really can do, what the myths are. Do you have the name? It's like
Yeah.
Cannabis.
Cannabis oil.
Yep. Say that again?
Cannabis oil,
Yes.
yes.
but without
There's no
The THC.
THC.
Yeah.
I can attest to, I take it every day. And
Orally, like.
I take it
a
oil,
pill?
I take it as an oil, mixed with water every day. I've been doing that for 2 years.
I take it as a tablet every day.
And I'll tell you, the relief that I've gotten is unbelievable. And I'm anxious to see what else they have to say. I've also used the cream for my fingers when they get so cramped up I can't straighten them. And within 20 minutes, they're open.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I talked with a chiropractor, and he said that more and more of his patients are using it for their pain level and the inflammation, and finding a lot of results. And there's a big article last week in the Sunday paper that Clint Eastwood is also using it and starting a program.
Oh.
So
So this is a cannabis-based ointment or oil?
ointment, yes,
Okay.
it's an oil, yeah.
Without the
THC,
THC, which
so-
produces the high
The high
effect.
and,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're in no way promoting people to use
No.
this. We're giving the facts and
Right.
the myths.
I understand that,
Yep.
yeah.
500 milligrams.
We've been hearing people talk about it in the
Yeah.
office a lot,
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
in discussing all the
Is it
different ways you
expensive?
can take it.
Is it expensive?
Yeah.
You can get now, when I
There's all
started,
different kinds, isn't there?
when I started in Groton, you couldn't get it anywhere but from a health food store. And so it's a little more expensive there, but you can get it online now at a great reduction in price. And some of the CVS, Walgreens have it. I know the drug store up in Air sells it, different potencies, and it's cheaper there than from the health food store.
Now, what about the place in Air that is, it's got the whole 9 yards? Can you get it there?
No.
I don't
Oh,
know.
no, that's
No.
different, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
just curious, I didn't know what CBD stood for.
Oh, sure. And Nicole, did you want to mention some of the other programs coming up?
So coming up in February 11th, we have an Eleanor Roosevelt impersonator coming. Also on the 11th, in conjunction with the blood pressure screenings, Megan Ford is coming to do hearing screenings again. The CBD Lunch and Learn, we have a Littleton resident who's a retired school teacher who plays the ukulele, and she sings, and she's volunteered some of her time. So on the 18th of February, she's going to be here to perform. The Veterans Group, it's going to be the second Thursday of every month. We have our Game Time group, which is the first Thursday of every month. It just started this month, and we had a few people come, so we're hoping more people will come next month to play. Social anxiety group, living alone group, caregiver support, and also on the 23rd, we're screening the movie Gen Silent. It's going to be a movie screening followed by a discussion. That's going to be from 3 to 5 downstairs in the multipurpose room. We have a lot going on in February.
213 at the blood pressure screening,
The 11th.
the 11th, okay?
Yes.
At the 11th, the blood pressure screening, Megan Ford, that's the gal who has the hearing.
The hearing.
Yes.
And she's gonna give,
Free
Hearing
hearing
test.
screenings. Yep.
okay.
You just have to call and sign up for a slot. It takes about 15 minutes.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get the
Is
information.
that gonna be in the broadcaster, or is it in the broadcaster?
It is. Yep. It's in there.
'Cause that's,
Nicole, could you describe Gen Silent and what that is?
So, it's a movie about LGBT seniors who have come out of the closet, years and years ago, and now are facing having to come out of the closet again to healthcare providers and trying to find long-term care options, and navigating insurance companies. It's a really good documentary.
and dealing with people in the social network who are dealing with them, who have problems with
Yes, discrimination.
gay people.
Yeah.
And are struggling with this. This is not just for gay people. This screening is suggested for anybody who wants to know what's going on, because our pastor is very much involved in this. And it's very concerning that people have to go back in the closet when they go into a nursing home because they're afraid they will be
Yeah.
dealt with negatively, and some real problems.
Yes, yes, it's for everyone, yeah. And Amy's been huge with getting this.
And I understand this presentation, this movie, deals with some of that. And
Yes.
shows people.
Yeah, it's a documentary that's actually all about people here in Massachusetts. So, very neat.
And where will that be held?
Multi-purpose room. 3 to 5?
3 to 5, yeah. It's the movie, and then there's going to be like a discussion afterwards.
And it's on the 11th of February?
No, that's on the 23rd.
Of January.
January.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I ordered this February, sorry, not January.
Yeah, Gen Silence, right there.
I
Yep,
just saw
I see
that
it.
on my calendar.
I have a question. Is Brains and Balance going to be repeated?
She is going to do it in the later spring. She does spring and fall.
This is the person that deals with people being able to handle walking and balancing and.
Yep.
and,
That's Holly Quovo, I believe, is how you pronounce it.
Get to that point.
And I think that covers everything. If you flip over the director's report to the back on the statistics, the rides, you'll notice that we had 87 canceled trips in December due to the weather. That's why there's the big drop. I just wanted to point that out to everyone.
But that's 872 as opposed to 814 the year before, so even there, we're greater.
Always. We're busy.
We are dealing with many more people than we have ever dealt with in this.
Yep, right. And we have many more things going on than we ever have had, I do believe. So if you look at,
Almost 15,000
Yeah.
check-ins last year.
all right. Do I have a motion to, we covered everything for outreach too in that discussion, I think?
Anything else for outreach?
No? Okay.
So moved.
I have a Motion made, is it seconded?
I don't know what it was. What was the-
Oh, you moved it to accept the reports.
To accept the director's reports.
Report and the outreach
I didn't know
report.
we had to do that.
Yes, we do. I always try.
It just is. It just is, but that's fine.
So we have a motion made by Maureen. Was it seconded? Somebody seconded that motion?
Second it.
All right, Anita has seconded the motion to accept the director and outreach coordinator's reports. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I believe it's unanimous. Anyone abstaining or not agreeing? I think it was unanimous.
May I
Thank
ask
you
one
all.
question? May I ask them? Who is Attorney Margaret Hoag? Is she an elder attorney or is she,
She's an elder law attorney from Concord.
she is an elder lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
And that was for the caregiver support group dinner. Margaret's hosting.
Do we have any other business to come before the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.